Please subscribe my channel. I didn't discover the betrayal the way people usually imagine. There was no big confession, no tearful phone call, no guilty breakdown. I found out because my phone buzzed at 6:12 a.m. the morning before my wedding. For a few seconds, I thought it was a congratulations text. Instead, it was a single message from a number I didn't know. It said, "You deserve to know who you're marrying. My name is Ethan. I was 32. I have a steady job in logistics. Quiet life, no drama." Sarah and I had been together for 4 years. We met at a mutual friend's housewarming party in Portland, Oregon. We connected over cheap wine and sarcastic jokes, and somehow we never stopped talking after that night. She was warm, open, the kind of woman who made you feel special just by the way she listened. When I proposed, she cried, laughed, and said yes before I even finished the question. I thought I knew her completely. The text came with a photo. It took my brain a moment to process it. Sarah, clearly Sarah, lay in a bed I didn't recognize. Her hair was messy. Her face was turned toward the camera, eyes closed. A man's arm rested across her waist. The tattoo on his wrist stood out sharply. I knew that tattoo. I'd seen it once in an old picture she deleted too slowly. It was her ex, Tyler. My chest didn't explode. It didn't hurt. It just went empty. I sat on the edge of the bed in the apartment we had just finished packing for our honeymoon. My suit hung on the closet door. Her wedding dress was zipped neatly in its garment bag. Everything around me shouted future, and my phone quietly destroyed it. I didn't reply. I didn't call Sarah. I read the text again. Then another message arrived. Last night she said she missed him. Said marrying you felt safe. Not right. That line stuck with me. Safe, not right. Like I was a safe plan, not her real choice. I showered, got dressed, and drove to the venue in Denver, Colorado, where Sarah was getting ready with her bridesmaids. On the drive, memories tried to soften me. The nights we cooked pasta at midnight, the way she rested her head on my shoulder during movies. I waited for denial to come. It never did. I arrived early, too early. I sat in my car for 20 minutes watching people set up chairs, hang string lights, and arrange flowers. I wondered how many weddings start with a lie hidden just beneath the surface. Eventually I went inside. I asked the coordinator if Sarah was available. She smiled and said she'd check. When Sarah walked toward me, she looked beautiful, familiar, and completely strange all at once. She smiled when she saw me, surprised. "What are you doing here?" she asked, half laughing. I handed her my phone. I didn't say a word. Her smile slowly fell apart, like something losing air. She looked at the screen, then at me, then away. Silence stretched on. Finally, she whispered, "It wasn't supposed to happen." That was it. No denial, no confusion, just a sentence that told me everything. I asked one question. "Did you sleep with him last night?" She nodded once, small and ashamed. "I was scared," she said quickly. Everything felt so final. I just needed closure. Closure. The word felt wrong. Heavy. Final. I stayed strangely calm. "You made a choice," I said. "Now I'm making one." She reached for my arm. "Ethan, please. It was a mistake. It doesn't change how I feel about you." I stepped back. That moment changed something in me forever. I knew I would never forget that image, never unhear her voice, never feel clean standing next to her again. Love doesn't survive that kind of humiliation. I left without raising my voice. I didn't tell anyone what happened. I drove home, packed one bag, and turned off my phone. By the time Sarah realized I wasn't coming back, I was already gone. She never saw me again. I checked into a small, no-name hotel near the highway. One of those quiet places that smell like laundry soap and emptiness. I sat on the bed fully dressed, staring at the wall, replaying everything with painful clarity. There was no anger, just a deep, calm certainty. Some betrayals don't ask for forgiveness. They end things cleanly, permanently, without noise or argument. That certainty followed me into sleep, into the morning, and into my future. I woke up just before noon with my phone still off and sunlight cutting through the cheap curtains. For a moment there was peace. Then the memory hit, sharp and immediate. I showered, dressed, and checked out without speaking to anyone. In the parking lot, I turned my phone on. 37 missed calls. Messages from Sarah, her mother, my mother, friends, and numbers I didn't know. I didn't open a single one. I drove west with no destination, stopping only for gas and coffee. By evening, photos started appearing online. The empty aisle, guests whispering. The caption everyone used was some version of unforeseen circumstances. Sarah's name trended briefly in our social circle, with speculation and sympathy. None of it mattered to me. I booked a flight that night using miles I had saved for our honeymoon. I didn't tell anyone where I was going. I needed distance, not explanations. Weeks passed. I sublet my apartment, transferred a work project, and stayed offline. It wasn't dramatic. It was deliberate. Pain doesn't always need an audience. One afternoon, I ran into Tyler by chance outside a cafe. He looked older than I remembered. Nervous. He said my name like a question. I didn't stop walking. Whatever he thought he had won wasn't my problem anymore. Sarah tried everything. Emails, letters, even showing up at my office once until security walked her out. She wrote about regret, fear, confusion. She said she loved me, that she panicked, that she'd spend her life proving it if I let her. I never responded. Some doors closed quietly because reopening them would cost too much. A year later, I moved again. New city, new routines. I dated slowly and carefully without big promises. I learned the difference between loneliness and peace. One is loud, the other is honest. People asked why I never talked about my past relationship. I told them the simple truth. It ended. That was enough. I heard through mutual friends that Sarah eventually married Tyler. It lasted 11 months. Apparently, real life didn't match the memories. When I learned, I felt nothing. No satisfaction, no sadness, just confirmation. Closure doesn't come from reopening old wounds. It comes from choosing yourself without apology. Sometimes late at night, I think about the man I was before that morning, trusting, certain. I don't mourn him. I respect him. He loved fully. He walked away cleanly. Not everyone gets to do both. On the morning after what would have been our wedding anniversary, I woke early and went for a run. The air was cool, the streets quiet. My life felt ordinary in the best way possible. No lies, no unfinished conversations, just moving forward. Betrayal doesn't always break you. Sometimes it sets you free. Sarah never saw me again. Not because I disappeared, but because I chose not to return. And that quiet choice became the foundation of everything that came after.